Good morning. Hi, I'm Arthur Kelly. I'm your teacher for English 120 Intro to Lit, which begins the second week of the new year. I'm looking forward to spending this time with you working on something that matters to me, literature, and thinking together with you about what it is, how it works, how to read it, and what it has to do with who we are and how we live in the world. Why it matters, in other words. I've written already a brief autobiography, a kind of a snapshot that I've posted online, but I do want you to know some other things about me in addition to those brief life facts that relate specifically to this class. I love literature. I love to read it. I love to try to create it. And by the way, I've posted one of my own poems, my Christmas poem, for 2017, just in case I need to prove I'm a writer. And I've also already given you the URL to check out my blog. I love to introduce literature. I love to talk with folks about it. Frankly, I can't remember a time in my life when I wasn't a reader. The Julius C. Lathrop Junior High School Library in Santa Ana, California was like my second home, so I'm not just saying it because it's what teachers say about the courses they teach. I really love literature, and I'm not only looking forward to this course with you, I'm downright eager to engage it with you. There are a few things I want you to know about the course before you get into it that I hope will be helpful to you. First, frankly, this course is designed for a larger group of students. Since at the time of this recording this video, there are only 5 of you registered, I'm going to have to make some changes for the expectations for weeks 2, 3, and 4 only. Rather than the 3 specific team projects that are identified in the syllabus and on Moodle, there will only be 1. So you will all work on that same team. And I'm going to be specific about that because they're the 3 teams that are crucial to this course. I'll post an explanation, a similar explanation for each of those 3 weeks. So be sure to watch for that before you engage anything. Another important change that may not be quite so obvious, but may also give you some assurances about me as a teacher. I just recently taught this class on ground to about 11 students. At the end, I asked them a question. Now that you've experienced this class, what suggestions or recommendations for improvement would you make to make it a better class? Most of the students talked about one of the very first assignments. It's called an explication, and it's in week 1. They said it was hard to do something like that without knowing exactly what one is, or without ever seeing one or having done one before. It was a brand new experience for all of them, and they really struggled. Once we worked our way through it in the first class, it became easier. So I've added into Moodle a narrated PowerPoint that I hope will help you. It's called the explication process. Please watch it first before you do anything related to that work. Now let me call your attention to just a few more things. First, this is an introduction course, so relax. It starts with the assumption that you are not like me. As I said, I've been reading and writing and thinking and teaching about literature, well, it seems like forever, so I know a lot about it. I'm assuming you don't, even if you are a reader. Most of us readers read for pleasure or escape. Few care about how writers do what they do. We just know that something good is happening when we read, especially if it's one of our favorite authors. So I'm not expecting you to come in with any particular sets of information or understanding, only an eagerness to learn. Second, When this course talks about literature, it doesn't mean only books, and it doesn't mean only the great books. Literature is about storytelling, and all media have been used to do that. So literature also means film. It also means sitting around a campfire with a really good storyteller listening to a really good ghost story. It also means graphic novels, comic books, and music, and all kinds of music. Everyone likes a good story. What we are going to try to figure out is why. Third, as you already know, ADP classes revolve around class discussion, and that is part of the teaching that I love the most. So, okay, no one is an expert, but everyone has an opinion. Everyone gets to be a critic. I like it, or I love it. I don't like it, or I hate it. These statements are valid statements and important and quite personal. What I will try to help you figure out is why you love or hate what we're talking about. Why, that word why and the word because are two central words in my teaching vocabulary, followed closely by such phrases as, tell me more about that, or unpack that for us. So in our online discussions, I expect you to read what each other is saying and to respond with something more than, yeah, I agree with that, or yeah, I never thought of that, or I think that's really interesting. Always attach an explanation and or a because to all of your statements. Even if you're not sure, make the effort. Finally, fourth, most important thing I ask of you is simply to read the assignments. I've worked hard to select a variety of materials and tried my best to keep them short and accessible and interesting. Although there are some longer pieces, they can't be avoided. But please plan your time carefully to make sure that the material is read at least once before you come to class so that we can all participate intelligently in discovering the value of the works we are considering. I want to close this welcome and greeting with a poem about books. I chose this one not only because of what it says, but also how it says it. Welcome to Storyland. There is a land, the title of the poem, by Leland B. Jacobs. There is a land, a marvelous land, where trolls and giants dwell, where witches with their bitter brew can cast a magic spell, where mermaids sing, where carpets fly, where in the midst of night brownies dance to cricket tunes, and ghosts all shivery and white prowl and moan. There is a land of magic folks and deeds, and anyone can visit there who reads and reads and reads. See you online.